Please remember to hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video. Also, in the description of this video, you can find our compiled link. Through that link, you can support the channel via our Patreon or through our affiliate links, including your playmat. If you want a custom playmat or custom card sleeves, buy them through there and it helps out the channel and you get a 10% discount. And through our TCG Player affiliate link. If you're going to buy cards, buy them through TCG Player and it helps out the channel. Also, we have our Discord if you want to chat with us. We have Twitter if you want to stay up to date on all the happenings. We have TikTok if you want to check out anything funny. And we have my Pokemon channel if you're into Pokemon, so check out LuxJ. And we will see you in the video. How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing a first thoughts today. This first thoughts is on Wilhelt, the Rotcleaver. This card seems pretty sweet. Definitely a zombie tribal commander. Got a lot of cool zombie tribal stuff and a lot of sacrificing. Seems pretty cool. The topics I'm going to talk about today are going to be there's some combos with Wilhelt that you're going to want to throw into the deck. Some zombie tribal stuff, of course. Some aristocrat style cards because there's going to be a lot of sacrificing going on, so that seems pretty good. Some instant speed sacrifice outlets, and a bunch of one-off cards, and then into 99. Very excited about this commander. Seems super fun, super cool. I like zombie tribal. I used to have a Verena deck, which I loved, and I may have to throw this one together because this seems fun. So, starting off with those combos. There's a few combos that I found that work really well. The first one involves Poppet Stitcher and a sacrifice outlet. Specifically, though, the backside of Poppet Stitcher, because it makes so creature tokens you control lose all abilities and have base power 3/3. The key part about that is lose all abilities, because you can have Wilhelt just hanging out on the battlefield, creating these zombie tokens with Decayed. However, those tokens will lose Decayed thanks to Poppet Stitcher, and boom, and so whenever a creature you control whenever a zombie you control dies that didn't have Decayed, you create a zombie token with Decayed. That zombie token is going to enter without Decayed because of Poppet Factory, and so you're just kind of able to sacrifice that same token over and over and over again, and you'll have infinite death triggers, infinite sack triggers, death triggers, sacrifices. So whatever the activated ability on a sacrifice outlet does, and yeah, you just go kind of nuts. The next three I'm going to talk about are all very similar, require a lot of the same similar cards, but they're a little more difficult to pull off. All these are going to require cards like Arcane Adaptation or Xenograft or that other one that I can't remember the name of offhand. The one from Kaldheim. Oh, I didn't write this one down. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the screen for you guys. So you need one of those, and the first one involves the Zathrid Necromancer. So say you have Arcane Adaptation in play, you have named humans, Zathrid Necromancer in play. Every time a human you control dies, you create a 2/2 black zombie. That zombie is now a human as well. So you can sacrifice that same zombie over and over and over again, giving you an infinite number of decayed zombies. That seems pretty good. And also infinite death triggers, infinite sack triggers, infinite sacrifices, infinite everything. Like, good stuff there. And then you also have the same type of combo. My dog just barked for some reason. Cruz, can you not? We have the same type of combo, but with Nether Trader. And you just have to name zombie here, so Nether Trader becomes a zombie. And boom. Whenever another creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay black. If you do, put Nether Trader from the graveyard into play. So you sacrifice Nether Trader, that creates a Decayed Zombie token. Sacrifice the Decayed Zombie token, triggers Nether Trader. You have to have Phyrexian Altar probably as a sacrifice outlet here. Trigger Nether Trader, pay that black using the Phyrexian Altar, and bring Nether Trader back into play. And you can do that over and over and over again, generating you infinite mana, along with infinite death triggers, infinite sacrifices, and all that. Infinite ETBs, all that stuff. The next one that's very similar to these, you have Arcane Adaptation. You name Cleric. This is a Rot Lung Reanimator. So every time a cleric you control dies, you make a zombie token. So this is going to be very, very similar to that Zathrid Necromancer, where you get infinite zombie tokens and infinite death triggers and infinite enters the battlefield, leaves the battlefield, whatever. Boom, good stuff. The next one is actually, this is one combo that I actually really like for this deck. It's Nim Devourer plus Phyrexian Altar. So, beginning of your upkeep, you can only activate Nim Devourer's activated ability in your upkeep. So, you sacrifice Nim Devourer to Phyrexian Altar for a black mana. Sacrifice a token that's created by Wilhelt for a black mana. You have 2 black floating, Nim Devourer in your graveyard. Pay the 2, bring Nim Devourer back into play. And you can just do that over and over and over again. Infinite death triggers, sacrifice triggers, enters the battlefield, leaves the battlefield, all that stuff. Seems really powerful. It's a zombie, so it's fitting already. And it's only a 2-card combo, and one of the cards you're going to want anyways in the deck. Like, it seems like an auto-include in the Wilhelt deck. And the last combo I want to talk about is a combo that should just be in your Wilhelt deck, because both these cards seem pretty good for Wilhelt, being Phyrexian Altar again, and Gravecrawler. So you can just sacrifice Gravecrawler over and over and over and replay it, creating infinite number of decaying zombies, along with the enters battlefield, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice triggers, death triggers, all that stuff. So all those seem like pretty good includes. Definitely Puppet Stitcher include. Definitely Gravecrawler. Definitely Nim Devourer. Definitely Phyrexian Altar. But the Arcane Adaptation ones are a little more iffy. They're okay. I don't think they're the best. But the other 3 combos I think are auto-includes in this deck. Next up, we're going to talk about Zombie Tribal cards. First, I'm going to talk about cards that are inside the precon with Wilhelt, because there's a lot of good stuff in that precon. And then I'll talk about stuff outside the precon that you might need to pick up. Best way to build this deck is definitely buying the precon and then going from there. So some of the stuff inside the deck that in the precon that seems very good for Zombie Tribal includes Cemetery Reaper, Crowded Crypt, Death Baron, Diregraph Captain, Dreadhorde Invasion, Endless Ranks of the Dead, Eternal Skylord, Gleaming Overseer, Gravespawn Sovereign, Lord of the Accursed, Diregraph Colossus, Rooftop Storm, Giza and Geralf, and Undead Augur. And then some ones that are not included in the precon that seem like they could be good includes: Blade Stitched Scab, Champion of the Perished, Cryptbreaker, Death Tyrant, Graph Harvest, Graveborn Muse, Hordewing Scab, Lich Lord of Unks, Narfi, Scarab God, Tomb Tyrant, Undead Warchief, Vizier of the Scorpion, Lord of the Undead, Noxious Ghoul, Relentless Dead, Zombie Master, Shepherd of Rot, and Rot Hulk. We got a whole lot of good zombie cards. Zombies is a tribe that's got a lot of support, so obviously there's going to be a lot of cards that you have to consider when building this deck. There's just so many different cards that seem fantastic for it. And next up, we're just going to talk about some aristocrat style cards that seem very good in this deck. So you got, first of all, cards that when you sacrifice something, because of the fact that these zombies have decayed, the tokens that you're creating have decayed, and you're going to be creating a lot of these tokens, you're going to end up sacrificing them. They're going to end up dying for sure. So you might as well capitalize on that. And there's a lot of ways to do that. First off, there's ways to drain life from your opponents, including cards like Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, one of my new favorite cards, Meat Hook Massacre. That card's insane. Bastion of Remembrance, and Sir Conrad. All seem great. Sir Conrad's really nice too, because you're going to have a lot of cards leaving your graveyard as well. That seems like a great include. Next up, you got cards that create tokens whenever a creature you control dies. So stuff like Blight Mound, Ogre's Slumlord, Pawn of Ulamog, Sifter of Skulls, and from the precon, Open the Graves. All seem pretty great in this deck, because not only are you going to have... Oh, my microphone just fell. Not only are you going to have creatures dying that are non-token, and, well, not other way around. Not only are you going to have creatures dying that are tokens, you'll also have creatures dying that are non-tokens. So those will be triggering these cards, creating more tokens, which is more sacrifice fodder and just gives you a lot more to do. Next up, you got Grave Pact type effects, including Grave Pact and Dictate of Erebos, and from the precon, Butcher of Malakir. Cool includes for this deck. Then we have a lot of card draw. Whenever a creature you control dies, you draw a card. Cards like Dark Prophecy, Grim Horospex, Harvester of Souls, Liliana Dreadhorde General, Species Specialist, and Midnight Reaper, which is featured inside of the Precon. All those seem awesome. I really like Species Specialist in this deck because you can name zombie, and every time a zombie dies, you draw a card. That seems good. I like that card a lot. I think that card is an underrated card. Next up, we just have some other cards that trigger on death triggers, including War-Eye Witch, Pitiless Plunderer, Black Market, and from the Precon, Eloise. I think it's Eloise. Somebody commented saying that I was pronouncing it wrong and it was pronounced Eloise, so I think that's how it's pronounced. And yeah, but with all of these aristocrat-style cards, you're going to need a lot of sack outlets. So, specifically, sack outlets that you can use at instant speed, because these decayed zombies, you can attack with them, you can deal the damage, they can attack, hit somebody, and end of combat, their trigger goes on to stack to be sacrificed. That's when you sacrifice them to another means so you can get extra value out of them. So some of these sacrifice outlets include the altars, Ashnod's Altar, Phyrexian Altar, Altar of Dementia. Those are all great. Viscera Seer and Woe Strider seem fantastic. You have cards like Altar's Reap, Village Rites, and Deadly Dispute. Some extra card draw there. Attrition seems awesome for this deck. I really like the include of Attrition. Ayara seems pretty good. Baron Master Wizard, a good way to control the board a bit. You've got Corpse Cobble. Kel's Fight Fixer seems pretty sweet. Krav also seems very powerful and gives you just a lot of bonuses. Priest of Forgotten God seems pretty good. And you also have Carrion Feeder, which is in the Precon. And now we're on to the one-off cards. First off, for the one-off cards, I want to just mention Idol of Oblivion, because you're creating a lot of tokens. This is just extra card draw. Seems fantastic for this deck. Idol of Oblivion, I think, is an underrated card. That's going to get pricey if it doesn't see a reprint. Then you have some cards that just create some tokens for you, like Curse of Restless Dead, which is in the Precon, and Field of the Dead. Lifeline seems like a pretty cool card because it can kind of just recur everything over and over and over again. And then you have some special board wipes, being Zombie Apocalypse and Kindred Dominance, which can destroy everyone else's boards but yourself. You have some extra Planeswalkers to throw in the deck, like Liliana Untouched by Death and Liliana Death's Majesty, which is in the Precon. Untouched by Death is really cool because it can combo with Rooftop Storm. You've got Patriarch's Bidding, just being able to reanimate all of your zombies seems great. And then some extra tribal stuff that's not specific to zombies, being Hero's Horn, Vanquisher's Banner, Icon of Ancestry, Pyre of Heroes, Kindred Discovery, and Path of Ancestry. All those seem like very solid includes. Also, Empty the Laboratory. That's from the Precon. That card seems sick. I like that card. And lastly, in the 99, I think that Wilhelt will be fantastic in any zombie deck, even if it's not the commander. So some of the commanders that it fits into the deck for, if you have, say you have a Varina deck, a Gisa and Geralf deck, Scarab God, Sidisi, this could be a good include. Just toss into those decks. If you don't already have it, if you don't already have a zombie deck, or if you already have a zombie deck and you want to play Wilhelt, just throw it into one of your existing zombie deck. It's going to perform very well. And that is everything I have for Wilhelt the Rotcleaver. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.